Hey guys, what's going on? Danny here. Thanks for tuning in to another video of mine. If you haven't already, please go down to the bottom of this video right here, hit that subscribe button, give me a like on this video, share it with family and friends, and I just thank you for all the continued support. I do apologize from last video to this video, not making a video in between of us picking up the Airstream and actually doing an unveil and the return home. I did happen to leave my charging cable at home and wasn't able to charge the battery in the hotel the night before. And so it was just kind of stuck with that video. So this video basically is going to talk about that and then show you exactly what we got and unveil it. So we went and picked it up in Eugene, Oregon, and we finally got up there Monday morning to do the pickup. And the people that we picked it up from, of the actual second owners, were amazing people. We got to spend some time with them, talk with them, kind of get a little bit of background of the previous owners to them and then of their ownership, and then kind of what their intentions were, and then shared our intentions of what we plan on doing with it. And after a long conversation, being able to handle all the paperwork and all the stuff in between, we were able to hook it up and get it on the road. And we had already planned to drive it about 30 miles down the road to a gas station where we could actually get it road ready, putting air in the tires, putting locks on the chains, making sure that the hitch was locked down accordingly, and just all your pretty much checks you want to do as you travel across any part of country or any roadway. And so that's exactly what we did. And we got on the road and started traveling down through Oregon and actually had no problems through Oregon until we got into California. And when we got into California, the problem ended up being that we hit a pretty big windstorm, and that windstorm actually caused havoc, not just to us, but the trailer itself. Now, granted, it is a 1973 Airstream trailer, and it is 47 years old, and I took up quite a bit of tools and had some expectations of things going wrong as we brought this back. And I can tell you right now, every single tool that I took, I ended up using, and every single thing that I thought could go wrong or potentially could go wrong actually did, and then a few other little things. So what happened? Well, with the wind, basically it started off by noticing that we had one gas station stop where the whole cover for the battery had just completely come off, and never even seen it happen. The whole battery actually came out of that box, and we completely lost that as well. As we kind of tightened up some things, we got back on the road and started driving. And it wasn't quickly, as we got on the road, I started to notice something kind of loose. I couldn't quite tell what it was. And then all of a sudden it just immediately came, and it was actually the entire awning that completely popped loose and unfolded on us. And as we were cruising down I-5, just completely dumbfounded on it, completely pulled over as quickly as possible, got it all buttoned up, tied up, and kind of did some more checks, had some windows pop open, so we got those all tightened up, and we continued on the road. Well, as we continued, other things started to unfold where people stopped and honked their horns at us. We ended up finding out that part of the rear belly pan actually fell down to the ground and was dragging, and the actual electrical cable that you typically would hook into when you go into a campground was dragging about 30 feet behind the trailer. And so we ended up getting that pulled over, getting all that cut out and removed and back into the truck, and so that we can continue our path down. And as we got closer to Bakersfield, we were about, I would say, 2.5 or 3 hours away. And we basically just started unfolding one piece after another. Basically, the trailer wiring got disconnected and shorted out and completely lost all exterior lighting. Not only that, but during that short process, what also happened was it shorted the wire, so it was actually drawing power from the truck battery to light up the interior lighting of the trailer. And I know this because all the windows that were of clear, I could see the wires actually flickering on and off as we drove down. I didn't want to take the time to pull over for that. I didn't think it was too big of a deal, so we just continued on. And eventually, this shorted out to the trailer brakes, where we kind of lost brakes to that. Now, granted, it was a gutted trailer, so I wasn't too worried being on some back farm roads coming into Bakersfield. And we were fortunate enough to be able to get it in safely and get it parked away. Now, as we've got it in here, I've been able to take a look at some things and being able to kind of assess some of the stuff that I'm going to do, and I'll talk more about that in future videos. But for now, what you guys have all been waiting for, something that should have happened, but because of my stupidity in leaving a charging cable and not being able to charge a battery, I wasn't able to do that. And so without further ado, I want to unveil our Airstream that we got, and one that we are going to start a complete restoration, renovation. I don't want to say complete restoration. I use that term loosely, because this is not going to be completely restoration to the original. It is definitely going to be a complete renovation. And we are going to pull the whole shell off. We are going to do the full frame ground up. If I need to do welding and cutting and all of that good stuff, I'm definitely going to be doing all that work, and I'm going to be making videos of that piece by piece as we unveil it, and you're going to see everything that we see. So let's go out to the back. Let's take a look at what we got. It's a 1973 Airstream Tradewind. The original owners actually nicknamed it Dustie. The second owners were going to plan on keeping that name, and so we just said, you know what, let's go ahead and keep the same name and keep it going, and that's exactly what we're going to do when we do this full-on renovation. The restoration part, we are going to keep some of the stuff kind of unique to that time frame. We haven't decided exactly what, but we'll talk more about that as we continue on with this restoration, renovation, whatever you want to call it, whatever I want to call it. We all have a particular name, but that's what we're going to go with it. So I do appreciate everyone. Thank you for all your continued support, and let's just quit talking and go look at this Airstream that you've all been waiting for. All right, you guys ready for it? Here we go. There it is, 1973 Airstream Tradewind. So what I was talking about a little bit ago, that's the vent that I lost. That's okay, because I'm gonna replace that and probably do the panel replacement there, just because I need to replace it for that as well. That's gonna be kind of in the wrong spot, I think, but we'll see. So I might have to replace this panel, might not have to. Won't know until I get it all situated. Talking about the coming around the rear, this is where the belly pan fell down. So it came down as we were traveling. This is the 30-foot of cable I was talking about that was dragging behind. So we cut that out, got that situated. And then I found this light actually hanging in a gas station stop. So I just cut the power wire so I didn't lose it, threw it inside the truck. And then this is the lid that I was talking about. So this lid came off at some point. I found it on a inspection during a gas station stop. Also lost the battery as well. Never found them, so I'm gonna have to come up with that and find that somewhere online. So here's the original name. Start with what I was talking about, Dusty. Put a nice little sticker of where they've gone. We'll keep this interior somewhere, move this over and keep it, and see if we can't start knocking off more states for this thing. And what you've probably all been waiting for is the interior. So last owners that we just got it from, they plan on doing obviously work, and got to the point where they decided that they were going to sell it. So some of the stuff they have in here they purchased. Some of the stuff is just original in the process of being gutted, and I don't know how much of it we're going to use, if anything, but needless to say, we'll go through all this and see what we can and can't use from a restoration standpoint, not a renovation standpoint, and then do all of our custom work that we plan on doing. But keep looking around. You can see the original bathroom back here is still intact, so this is all going to come out. Obviously that's where the belly pan fell down. You can see daylight there, as well as daylight over here with the electrical. I think this is where all the short was happening. That I'm unsure of, but it's all coming out anyways and getting replaced brand new. And then the owners previous to us, they started some work in the front. We're going to get rid of that because this is where we're going to place the bed at, and pretty much go from there as we continue this. So where do we go from now? Well, basically all this stuff that you see and you're seeing right now is going to come out, and we're going to take it all out and then basically go to all of these skins right here and start taking all of them out piece by piece, and then taking all the insulation out, and then getting this down to the actual aluminum sheeting and all of the studs. From there, I'll pull all of the old wiring out, get everything redrawn up, disconnect this shell, remove it from the actual frame itself, and then essentially move the frame out, do any work that needs to be done on the frame, replace all the axles and everything, get it up to date, and then basically put the shell back on and then start building it from the ground up. So like I said, this is the last video and before we start the actual renovation of this. So the next video that will be coming out right after this will be basically watching me clean all of this out and essentially starting to come up here and drill, as you can see, all of these rivets out for all of these panels, and they go all the way around, as you can see. So there's quite a few of them. I shouldn't say a few, hundreds of thousands of them that we'll be drilling out, and then eventually doing more rivet work once the new stuff goes in. Plans, all electric. So we're gonna put solar panels. We've got a custom Tesla power wall that we're going to actually put in place of where the propane tanks were. And then I also have a 400 watt wind turbine that will be on a crank handle that goes up from the roof side. And in case we can't get daylight, we can at least get some wind if we have it and get some power. As far as that, I'll update you more on the complete electrical and complete plumbing as we get to those videos. But for now, this is where we're at. Here's the inside. And I thank everybody for your continued support, and be on the lookout for more videos as we start this project.